Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or Horizon 2, whatever you want to call it, is a game that has not even been announced yet, but it has people buzzing about it. It probably is going to be a PlayStation 5 game, hopefully a launch title, although that has yet to be known. Based on Guerrilla Games having some job listings, it's starting to look like it might not be a launch title. Whatever the case may be, it is looking like Horizon is going to be a major franchise player for Sony in the coming years, and Guerrilla, according to Video Game Chronicle, is planning on a Horizon Zero Dawn trilogy, and plans for the next-gen sequel indicate gigantic scope and a cooperative mode as well, so expect this game to be an enormous upgrade from the first title, which was already a very good game. However, it did have its shortcomings here and there, but I thought the foundation was set for a lot of potential in subsequent titles, and I think that's going to be realized in Horizon 2. So I'll leave the article down below, but I do want to read some of the tidbits that they have been known of. Multiple sources have told VGC that Sony Interactive Entertainment has greenlit ambitious plans for the post-apocalyptic open-world franchise, which debuted in 2017, and it was a brand new IP, but how many copies did it sell? Well, as VGC noted, 10 million units selling Horizon Zero Dawn. That's kind of ridiculous given the fact that Horizon was a new IP, it was a single-player game, it wasn't done by a studio that was super well-known. Like, Guerrilla Games is a studio that the hardcores will know, but they're not at the tier of like a Bungie or even a Naughty Dog. Guerrilla is a studio that I have a lot of fandom over because I love the Killzone titles. But nonetheless, the fact of the matter is that a single-player oriented new IP that sold 10 million copies, that is insane, especially because even if you are a fan of Guerrilla, Guerrilla isn't a studio that people know about for their single-player experiences, but they delivered that and then some with Horizon Zero Dawn. Amsterdam-based Guerrilla had always a desire to deliver a series of Horizon games, and a multi-part script was written, but the plan was only agreed after the original game's strong debut on the PlayStation 4. Horizon is set on a far future Earth where nature has reclaimed the planet, and the next installment, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, started development soon after the first game's successful release, sources said. Initially, the game was planned for PlayStation 4, however, it's thought that the development has now entirely shifted focus to Sony's next-generation console. Horizon 2 is set to be gigantic in scope with a larger game world and more freedom to explore it than its predecessor. People with knowledge of the game also indicated the inclusion of a co-op feature, although it's not clear if this is delivered via the main story or entirely through a separate mode. At one point, Guerrilla was actually planning to release a standalone co-op game preview with progress carrying over to the latter full version of Zero Dawn 2. One person involved told VGC, however, it's not clear if those plans are still in place. Co-op is a feature Guerrilla has strongly intended to introduce to the series, and it's understood PlayStation was equally keen to see online functionality implemented in the sequel. That's rather interesting. I never really associated a game like Horizon needing cooperative play. However, if Guerrilla is confident that they can implement it in a good way in Horizon 2, it's something that I'll definitely give a chance to, and something I'm definitely interested in checking out how it would pan out, because I imagine that this is going to be a colossal open world, and the idea of exploring that open world with a buddy, okay, that sounds pretty exciting. And in actuality, a co-op feature was initially planned for the first game, but was ultimately scrapped so the development team could focus on the other areas of the title. Zero Dawn concept art that leaked online in 2014, verified by VGC, even shows initial plans to have multiple players battle the game's huge mechanical beast. That idea of multiple players battling these huge creatures, something that is reminiscent of a game like, or a show I should say, like Attack on Titan, that would be pretty freaking cool. You're just there with your buddies with a lot of other people and you're fighting these colossal behemoths. Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun, and that's something I could definitely get behind. Guerrilla's work on a sequel has recently been suggested by a series of job advertisements which mention an open world game featuring quests and creatures, and immediately when I saw those job listings I was like, okay, that obviously looks like Horizon. It could be something entirely different. It could be a Horizon spin-off because this game has sold so well that I'm sure Sony is keen to the fact that they can evolve this into a multifaceted and multi-layered IP. But if those job listings are for Horizon 2, that gets me a little bit worried, because does that mean Horizon 2 is still a long ways away? I think Horizon 2 as a launch title for the PlayStation 5 would be very advantageous for Sony, and it would be a big seller. Look, I never looked at Horizon as this marquee franchise that people were all over, but look at the game sales. The numbers don't lie, and 10 million copies being sold for a new IP done by a studio that, yes, is well known, but it's not one of those elite studios everybody looks at. And again, that studio was known for multiplayer experiences. A new IP done by a studio that doesn't typically do single-player games, and it's selling north of 10 million copies. I don't know if you guys are actually understanding the grandiose success that Horizon Zero Dawn was. It's pretty incredible, the numbers that this game moved. Now, I don't necessarily know how many of those 10 million are attached to PlayStation 4 consoles being sold, but nonetheless, it's evident to see that the game did very, very well. PlayStation has even made possible reference to how PlayStation 5's innovative controller could impact gameplay in Horizon. System architect Mark Cerny and CEO Jim Ryan have said that the DualSense's adaptive triggers will help players feel the tension of their actions, like when drawing a bow to shoot an arrow. Obviously, a PC version of Horizon is also coming, and that should be coming this summer, and I feel like that's very exciting because if the game sold really well on consoles, on PlayStation 4 I should say, then a PC version should do really well as well. And the technical handcuffs coming off, the game running at 60 frames per second, 4K, whatever the case may be, that is going to open the doors for Horizon Zero Dawn to look visually incredible. I know some people are weirdly upset about Sony limiting, releasing the exclusivity factor of Horizon, but that game came out 3 years ago. At this point, you want to open up the game to a new audience, and that PC consumer base, I think, is going to be all over Horizon Zero Dawn. It's an opportunity to introduce the game to a new audience prior to the release of the PlayStation 5, and if Horizon 2 ends up being a launch title, and I doubt that game would be a PC release right out the gate as well, well, then essentially you're using it as a promotional tool for the PlayStation 5, and guess what? You're going to be making a ton of money off the game, because I imagine if the game sold 10 million copies on PS4, it's going to sell very, very well on PC. Maybe it won't sell 10 million, but there's going to be a large group of people that never played Horizon, they don't have a PlayStation 4, they're going to buy the game, and there's going to be an audience of people that played Horizon on the PlayStation 4, they have a gaming PC as well, they want to see how the game looks on PC, they're going to buy the game and they're going to double dip as well. It just makes all the sense in the world from a financial standpoint with Sony. In 2017, PlayStation America's then president Sean Layden confirmed Horizon Zero Dawn was a franchise the platform holder intended to leverage in the future, noting Guerrilla co-founder Herman Hulst has got a very keen mind on where he wants to take Horizon and what the roadmap is, and the roadmap is expressed in multiple years, he told Telegraph. I think we'll be in the Horizon business for a long time. So that was said years ago, but that is very, very exciting. I think Horizon is a franchise with all the potential in the world, and it's one of those unique IPs that Sony has established right out of the gate really quickly. I mean, look at a game like The Order 1886. As much as I love that, sometimes you get these single-player new IPs released, and they don't resonate this hard. I don't know what it was about Horizon Zero Dawn. Maybe it was the badass female character, the Alloy is an awesome lead, maybe it was the idea of these gigantic mechs that are yours to fight in the game, whatever the case may be. Maybe it was Guerrilla Games. Maybe Guerrilla Games, I'm low-key not giving them enough credit as an excellent studio. Look, I love Guerrilla, but the idea that Guerrilla could just come in there, new IP, single-player base, and they could just completely kill it from a commercial standpoint, that is incredible to me, and it's still something that shocks me. And I think there was this idea of Sony being like, okay, let's see how Horizon does, and then we'll greenlight a sequel, because this article notes that the sequel began being developed on after the release of the first game. While Guerrilla had the idea in their head that this could be a multi-layered and multi-part series, I imagine that the strong sales really solidified that, and now Guerrilla really has a gigantic oyster to work with, and the potential of this franchise is just crazy. So, a lot of interesting stuff with Horizon 2. Hopefully, we see the revelation of this game alongside the big reveal of the PlayStation 5 whenever that decides to happen. A lot of things are in flux right now due to the state of the world, but nonetheless, Horizon 2 has potential to be something really special. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Really interested to hear what you guys think about the potential release of Horizon 2 co-op mode, a grandiose open world. Sound off below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.